Hi, welcome to Back to School Night. I'm Kevin Fox, and this is World History and Geography 1 class. Sorry I'm not able to be in attendance tonight, but I wanted to give you a brief overview of this course and a little bit about me. This is my 14th year teaching at Woodson High School and my 17th year overall. I'm also the freshman girls basketball coach. I've been teaching or coaching freshmen for the entirety of my career. So my goal is to help these students transition from middle school to high school and give them all the skills that they're going to need to be successful throughout their high school career. And I will go ahead and break down what this course is going to look like this year. This class has two main goals. The first is the successful completion of the course, and the second will be the completion of 3 project-based assignments. These are 3 essays that we will complete throughout the year. We will work with students on the writing process to prepare them for these essays, and that will give them their SOL credit for the year. We will cover 5 main historical areas. We just finished up our prehistory unit, and we will go all the way to the Renaissance. So we cover many, many centuries, and we do so throughout the entire world. So students get to learn about a lot of different cultures. Hopefully along the way, they come to have an appreciation for world history. We'll be covering more than just historical content in this class. Students will also read. They'll have their textbook along with many primary sources along the way. We will work with students on writing. We know that writing is a process. Our goal by the end of this class is for students to be able to write a great 1-paragraph essay. We'll do some oral communication. Some projects we'll have to speak out loud, along with critical thinking, putting big ideas together, and we'll see that in their essays. For every unit, we will look at the geography of the region that we're going to cover, and we usually start that with a map. We'll look at economics. Right now we're covering the barter system. We'll also be looking at stories from around the world. As we get into our unit on Sumer, we'll be looking at the Epic of Gilgamesh. And we also want our students to understand how art has evolved throughout the centuries. They'll see Greek columns, Roman arches, and so forth. As we go through this class, we'll also be working on our Portrait of a Graduate skills. In World History 1 class, we are pretty big on structure. So we have a typical daily schedule, and this schedule is very similar whether we are in the virtual world or in the classroom. So we'll start class with a warm-up. These warm-ups could be maps or primary sources, and it would take about 10 or 15 minutes to complete it. We will have our PowerPoint lecture, which can be anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, so the students will work on their note-taking skills. After that, we'll have a classwork activity that will relate to the lecture, and that would be somewhere between 35 and 50 minutes. They might be creating comics, analyzing primary sources, looking at maps, completing a travel brochure, different activities. We like to mix those up so the kids are using all of their skills. And finally, we would have a reading review. And we would try to start this by the end of class, but they would have several pages they would need to read with a guide to work on their reading comprehension skills. For grading, the Fairfax County policy is that 30% of the grade be formative assignments and 70% will be summative. Formative assignments includes all classwork activities. We will begin almost all of our classwork activities in class, but if the student doesn't get the chance to finish it in class, they'll be able to take it home and turn it in. For the summative portion of the grade, that includes tests and major writing assignments. For our tests, we do offer retakes, but to do a retake, a student has to have all of the assignments done for that unit in order to do the retake. Many cases, a student doesn't do so well on the test because they haven't done the work leading up to the test. For the late work, we have a 10% penalty if an assignment is turned in late within the first 2 weeks. After that, a student can earn only a 50%. That's the highest grade after the 2-week mark, and we will accept assignments all the way until the end of a quarter. If there's some kind of emergency or something going on and a student can't get their work in on time, please communicate with me, probably by email. It's going to be the easiest way to reach me, and let me know what's going on. And I'm definitely willing to show some grace when it comes to late work, provided that the students are being responsible and communicating with me clearly. Our goal in class is to make the content relevant to our students, and that can be challenging as we're talking about things that happened thousands of years ago. So we try to tie it into current events as well. When we talk about flooding on the Indus River, we'll be looking at a video from Pakistan from flooding that happened 5 or 10 years ago and showing them that we still encounter some of the same problems that we encountered a couple thousand years ago. Our world history team spends a lot of time preparing our lessons to make sure that students are engaged, and we use a multi-sensory approach because we know that students have diverse learning styles. We want our students to be able to write the information. Sometimes they draw pictures. We use a variety of different methods to allow students to show us what they know. We want students to take responsibility for their own learning. I covered that last slide, but communication is key, and that's going to show a ton of growth if they're communicating with us, and that's going to help them for the rest of their high school career. We always encourage students to participate. Our students come from a variety of different backgrounds, and they can bring a lot to the table to help others to learn. We'll be using Schoology to access our content. If a student is absent, everything they need will be available on Schoology. It's broken down unit by unit, day by day, so they can get the notes, the fill in the blank notes, the reading review, and the daily assignment. We'll be using an online textbook. We'll be getting the students set up on those textbooks as we move into our second unit. But if there are any problems with Schoology or the online textbook, just give me a heads up and we'll try to make things work. How can you help your freshmen? You can ask them what they learned in class and hopefully they're happy to talk about it. Help them with their organization. Maybe check their planner or calendar and see when the next test is coming up. You can check SIS and see if they have any outstanding assignments that they need to complete. Our goal for our freshmen is to become responsible along the way, and communicating with us is the best way to do that. After school hours, email is the best way to contact me. Obviously, we want the students to be responsible with their learning, but parents are always welcome to step in when they don't think that connection is being made. And email is always the best way to reach me outside of school hours. We would also like to see students limit their cell phone use when completing academic work at home. They'll get through their assignments much quicker. They'll be able to study more efficiently without the use of other distractions. And once again, if anything comes up, please feel free to email me and we'll do our best to work everything out. Thanks again. Hope you guys have a great night.